All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving headfirst into a really fascinating part of the creator economy. And we're going to be looking at the top alternatives to one of the biggest names in live streaming out there, Chaturbate.
So, when you think of cam sites, Chaturbate is probably the first name that pops into your head. It's an absolute giant in this space. But the source material we're looking at today asks a really great question. Just because a platform is the biggest, does that automatically make it the best choice? For performers, or even for viewers? Well, that's what we're here to break down.
Okay, so what's the deal? What's the problem with being the biggest fish in the pond? The source calls it the Chaturbate dilemma. On the performer side of things, the massive size means you're up against insane competition, which makes it super hard to stand out. And when you add in high commission fees and rules that can change on a whim, yeah, you can see why people are looking elsewhere. And then for the viewers, the experience can feel a little meh. It can be kind of generic with a ton of ads and not a lot of personal touch.
Okay, so if you're thinking about ditching the big guy, what should you even be looking for? What makes a platform actually good? Well, our source lays out a pretty clear checklist.
And it really boils down to these 5 key things. First up, fair monetization. I mean, performers want to keep more of the money they earn, so low commissions are a huge deal. Second, you gotta have high traffic. A platform can have all the bells and whistles, but it's useless without an audience. Third, creative freedom and flexibility. Creators need to be able to express themselves without a bunch of super strict rules holding them back. Fourth, the tech really matters. We're talking smooth, high-quality streaming and cool features. And last but not least, reliable payments that are on time every time. That's a total non-negotiable.
All right, so with that checklist in our back pocket, let's dive in. Let's take a look at the top alternatives that are really making some noise right now and challenging the way things are done. Okay, so this table gives you a bird's eye view of the whole scene. And what's really cool is how specialized everyone is. You've got platforms that are built for totally different things. Bonga Camps, for example, is all about getting as many eyeballs as possible with a massive global audience. Live Jasmine and Flirt for Free are playing in the premium sandbox, focusing on HD for clients who are willing to pay more. Then you have the tech-forward sites like StripChat and CamSoda, who are all about interactive toys, VR, and even crypto. And of course, there are completely different models like OnlyFans, which is all about subscriptions. The big takeaway here, there's no single best one. It totally depends on what you, as a creator, are trying to do. So let's zoom in on a couple of these. First up, Bonga Cams. Its biggest selling point is that enormous global audience, which, means more potential to earn for performers. And getting paid every week, that's another huge plus that offers a lot more financial stability than some other places. Then you've got something like Live Jasmine. This platform is all about being the luxury high-end option. We're talking top-tier private shows, a curated feel, and flawless HD streams. It's really built for pros who are targeting an audience that expects and will pay for a premium experience. Now, if you're into tech, StripChat is probably going to be your jam. The source points out its really innovative features like interactive toys that viewers can actually control in real time and even full-on virtual reality shows. This is for performers who want to give their audience a totally immersive, next-level experience. And of course, you can't have this conversation without mentioning OnlyFans. I mean, it's a completely different animal, right? It's not about live streaming for tips in the same way. It's a subscription model. And that gives creators absolute control over their content and their pricing, which is perfect for anyone who's already put in the work to build a strong brand and a loyal following. Okay, so we've looked at a bunch of solid alternatives, but here's where the source material we're digging into takes a really interesting turn. It doesn't just stop there. It actually proposes a much bigger idea, a totally different way of thinking about this whole thing. This right here, this is the big question. After all that analysis, the source asks the ultimate question. After all this, why work for anyone else? Why spend all this time looking for a better boss when you could just be the boss? And this quote from the article just hits the nail on the head. It doesn't matter how great a platform is. At the end of the day, you're still playing in someone else's sandbox. You're subject to their rules, their policies, and you never, ever have full control. And let's get real about the money for a second. This number, 30 to 50%, that's the cut the platform can take right off the top of a performer's earnings. I mean, that is a huge chunk of your income just gone. It's a massive price to pay for just being on their site. So when you lay it all out like this, the choice becomes crystal clear. On one hand, you're on a third-party platform where you're losing a massive slice of your profits, you're dealing with content rules, and you're fighting a sea of competitors. But on the other hand, with your own platform, you keep everything you make. You have total creative freedom, and you get to build your very own brand, your way. You make the rules.
And that brings us to what the source proposes as the ultimate solution: launching your own independent campsite. It's a complete mindset shift from being just another creator on a platform to becoming the owner of the platform.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. How on earth am I supposed to build my own website? I'm not a coder. Well, the article points to something called a white label solution, and it mentions one called Skrill Stream. Think of it like this. It's a pre-built engine for a campsite that you can take, put your own brand on, and customize without ever touching a single line of code.
And the perks of going this route? They're pretty massive. First, and this is the big one, you keep 100% of your profit. No commissions, no fees, period. You also get to completely customize the site to match your brand, and you have total control over your prices and rules. Plus, all the hard tech stuff, hosting, security, payments, that's all handled for you, so you can just focus on growing your business.
So when you boil it all down, the main takeaway from our source material is pretty simple. Looking for alternatives is a good first step, but the real game changer for serious creators is to stop depending on other platforms. Real freedom, real success comes from taking the reins of your own business, your own brand, and 100% of your earnings.
And that really leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought. We're seeing this trend pop up everywhere, not just in this industry. So is this what the future of content creation looks like? Total independence and ownership? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in to The Explainer.